Hey, homie.
Yeah, sending this one out to my man
Bill,
No doubt, indeed. Without weed, you know what I'm saying? That old real shit. There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. You could run, but you can't hide forever from these streets that we done took. You walking with your head down, scared to look, shook, cause ain't no such things as halfway crooks. They never around when the beef cooks in my part of town.
In Milwaukee, and I'd gone home to visit my folks who lived in a little farm town in Iowa, and I was staying in my old bedroom, and for some reason Sharon hadn't come with me. And all of a sudden, I felt like I was lifted out of my bed, carried through the roof of my bedroom, and I was sailing through the sky, through the stars, to the moons of Saturn. Now that's pretty weird. And mind you, I was not on any drugs at this point. No funny cigarettes or recreational vegetables whatsoever. And I ended up landing on this moon of Saturn, and there was this obscenely bizarre looking temple there. It was all totally black, totally out of whack. The angles were all wrong, spikes sticking out of it. It looked like a loathsome, diseased kind of black thing crouching on the plains of this moon. And I was told to go in, and I went inside, and there was this gentleman there who was my occult mentor, and he was wearing a white robe, and he kind of glowed in the dark like Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars movies, you know. Well, anyhow, he says, "Welcome to the Cathedral of Pain." Now, somehow that didn't sound very good to me, but what could I do? I was out in the middle of outer space, you know. And so I walk into this thing, and it's an enormous thing like a cathedral, just huge, except instead of stained glass windows along the walls, there was these, like, imagine like giant aquariums, floor-to-ceiling aquariums, full of some kind of fluid in this green light bathing them, and except instead of pictures or whatever, floating in these two aquariums on both sides of the room were countless naked dead bodies. Mutilated, horrible looking, you know, just floating there, including dead babies, dead children, dead adults, the whole bit. And I was just getting horrible feelings about this. There was this altar which was shaped like a trapezoid made out of girders in the middle of the room. And there was this huge throne made out of steel girders in the far side of this cathedral, kind of like if you were in like a Anglican or Catholic church, you know, in the rear. Well, what happened was, I was told to lay down on this altar, and they tied me to this altar, and this is all happening in his dream. Was it a dream? I don't know. What happens? All these people come out in black robes and they start chanting, and for some reason they're chanting in French. And for some reason I understand French, even though I don't. And they're saying all these blasphemous things against the Almighty, which I won't even repeat, just cursing over and over again. And it's like they're trying to raise a level of power. And all of a sudden this figure materializes on this throne in the rear of this huge cathedral. And it's this giant ghastly figure, probably 25, 30 feet high. And it's like scintillating back and forth between this gorgeous looking man with long flowing hair to becoming like a winged bull, to becoming like a goat with wings and a human body. And it would go back and forth, like scintillating. So at the end, this thing gets up off the throne, and the chanting is getting more and more fierce and more frenzied. And he comes down, and every time he steps, the whole floor shakes. And he comes up to where I'm laying on this altar, and he has this vast hand that's like, 4 feet long, from thumb to finger, and talons. And he takes this finger and he pokes it right through my forehead, like this talon, and it like sears into my brain, and I feel this energy just burning my brain with white hot pain. And he said in this cavernous, sepulchral Darth Vader type voice, "Now you belong to me, body, soul, and spirit forever." And my brain like exploded at that point, and I felt myself hurtling back to earth in a fireball. And I landed in the backyard of my parents' house. I'm laying there stark naked in the middle of this burning circle of fire on the lawn.
We've always thought of Saturn being this serene body. It looks like a pearl in the sky with different hues to it due to different types of clouds. What we're seeing is that if you go through those hazes and get down to the depths of Saturn, you find a roiling atmosphere. And the cyclone is probably one manifestation of this dramatic dynamics. We did realize that there was a cyclone on the South Pole a year ago. What was the surprise was we see essentially the same type of a feature in the North Pole. The North Pole has a hexagon around it. You know, these cyclones on Saturn are huge. You can fit at least one Earth in one case and two Earths in another case inside these things. And they have powerful winds near the center of about 300 miles an hour. So in a lot of ways, these are the most powerful cyclones ever seen. And they have powerful winds near the center of about 300 miles an hour. And they have powerful winds near the center of about 300 miles an hour. And they have powerful winds near the center of about 300 miles an hour.
It's springtime on Saturn, and the hexagon is out. A perfect six-sided hurricane, 60 miles deep, that could swallow 4 Earths. It's ringed by winds of ammonia and hydrogen blowing 220 miles an hour. Without sunlight, astronomers were limited to infrared images. They showed the hexagon was still there. But what is it?
slowly crawling under your temple of love. We'll do a temple and fill it with love. Song by song, from morn to dusk, I'll build you a temple and fill it with love.
I see you hating, probably cause you wanted mine, but they ain't have the balls to get it, and I'm a monster with it. And I ain't gotta keep it simple because I get it in, and this booth is my temple of love, so what the fuck?
Is all the power, helping you through the midnight hour. The secret of love and peace, soul and heart it will release. So, bow your head and pray, it's gonna take your fear away. Flying like a snowy dove, out of the temple of love.
Come to the temple of love, and together we'll pray to the heavens above. Come to the temple of love, your heart is free, joy in the temple of love.
Come feed my fire in your temple of love. As the moon shines down in crescendos from above, keep me up all night, I can never get enough. Give me all you got, baby, don't stop. Temple of love, temple of love. Shooting stars late at night, fall to earth, discharge the light, slowly die, then gone forever.